Now, we got some tweets from fans we want to go over. That's always very enjoyable. So let's start with one from Kevin, who says, "What are Rick's thoughts on Magnum TA? I thought that feud was going to be epic before his accident happened."
Oh, he's a great kid. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen in the business. I was in Birmingham, Alabama. I can remember it was yesterday when I got off the plane and in Charlotte, you would have thought that Elvis Presley was in the hospital. I mean, it was that big. Wrestling was so big in Charlotte in the 80s. And I remember they just was just terrible. I went to see him when he was having been on life support, the type that I was on, and Scott with the tube down your throat and that. He was in one of those, in the old iron tank. Do you remember those?
Oh, the Iron Lung.
The iron lung, yeah. He was in one of
Oh,
those, and he was completely paralyzed for 30 days before he had any movement at all. And the only way he could communicate and get a nurse to come over with the hitting a tongue depressor of his, oh, just, man, it killed the seal like that.
uh, could Magnum work a long match? He worked a lot of squashes, and if he had had that program with you, a little more would have been required. How would that part have gone?
Oh, he could work. Magnum could work. I think Magnum might have been being considered. I know it does feel as a potential world champion.
Oh, I think that if he would have not got hurt, he would have got the world title at some point, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. He would have had to travel a little bit more and go out and not go through what I did by just having wrestled guys in the Carolinas, which you could really make you look better than you thought you were, as my experience personally. They would the way that they would have had to send them out and work, all the other territories for 6 months before it would have been successful for him. Where he would have got the same thing. He would have got the title, and he would have taken off and wrestling guys that not as good as the kid, I mean, as good as the kids in the Carolinas, which was loaded. I mean, from Dusty to Ricky Moore. I mean, the name of Bobby Orton, Slater, Jesus, the Road Warriors. I mean, Sting. It would have been a very competitive situation for him.
Well, he did a lot of really memorable stuff. I remember his best of 7 with Nikita Koloff was big. The stuff with Tully was unbelievable. The I Quit.
Yes.
I watched that I Quit once or twice a year.
Yeah, yeah, it was
Unbelievable.
great, real good. Yeah, no, he was there, but once again, Tully, world class wrestling. I mean, it just. I'm just saying, if I think for him to have been really successful, if he were to become the world champion, they would have had him travel a little bit. That's what I would have suggested.